shout out to Michelle and the Wormsteiner's restaurant here in Toronto. They were the generous sponsor of this interview, and we just want to say thank you, and everyone should try their delicious food. We actually met like the day of the recording. We never met in person just because of COVID and the lockdowns beforehand. So all of the songwriting, all of the back and forth and the lyrics changes and things like that, it was all done through calls, FaceTimes, and emails. And yeah, it was quite unique. You don't get to say that every day.
No, that's true. He said it. I grew up with a lot of different inspirations, like Bob Marley, and I grew up with Tom Waits, and then we also listened to, as a family, Alanis Morissette, Sarah McLachlan, Ricky Lee Jones, and lots of different people, so it's all over the place. And then like more, I guess you could say top 40s people would be Halsey, and then Beyonce. Who doesn't like Beyonce? And then Sia, Jessie J. So those are all my amalgamations of the people that I like.
For me, it would have to be the producer DJs. So David Guetta, Diplo, the Tiestos of the world, the DJ Snakes. But growing up as a kid, Pitbull was definitely a big inspiration just because every song he made was always upbeat, it was about partying, and he never had a sad song. And that's one of the things I hold true to myself and to the Fuzz brand, that it's always going to be upbeat, it's always going to be making people dance, and it's never going to be a dull moment.
True. I love Pitbull. I love when people ask that because it's usually people that are listeners, they're part of the audience, they're not usually the ones creating music. That's what I found, at least. No tea or shade, but that's what I found. My genre, to put it in a box, is R&B soul with my own little alternative sprinkle of the things that just make me me.
For me, it would just have to be, dance, pop dance, EDM sometimes, just house music. Basically something that makes you dance, so to keep it simple.
I jumped on the piano when I was 3 years old. Apparently my parents brought me to this instrument shop because my mom was looking for a stand or something. She would teach vocals once in a while because they were in the art industry. And so I would just go to the piano and try to start playing, or I would be like, Nana, sing this, and then I'd be building on top of that. So it kind of started when I was 3, and then it just grew, and then officially when I was 16, I made my first EP, and that was a very, very start to who I thought I was with music. It was more singer-songwriter-ish. So
nice.
Yeah, and then it grew from there.
For me, it would have to be, again, same, at a really young age, just because I was brought up in a musical family, and my brother plays the violin, my sister plays the piano, so I kind of had to, choose an instrument at a young age. My parents kind of engraved that in us, and so I picked up tombak, which is a Persian percussion instrument, and then once we moved to Canada, I was like, okay, I can't play that in middle school, so I had to pick up trumpet, and ended up, playing it for 7-8 years through middle school to high school, and then played, in the youth symphony orchestra in Toronto, and I was like, this is orchestra life is okay, but it's not quite for me. And then I moved into, producing your own music, around maybe 2015 when I was 17. So yeah.
I would open for Youngblood.
Explain.
He is so different and cool and free, and I feel like the audience would get quite a contrast, but also his freedom of who he would kind of rub off on me a bit. I'm very free with myself, but he just is like, this is who I am. It's like human vomit. I don't know how else to describe him. He's like human vomit. Like, he just is so out there, and I love his music. I would even like make a song with him, because that would be so interesting. We do like this rock, reggae, R&B vibe.
I would say Loud Luxury would be a cool opening gig for me, just because they're in Toronto, they're from Canada, and it's kind of homegrown talents, and then we're in similar genres and styles of music that it would make sense to open for them. But yeah, I think I'll go with Loud Luxury. I can go first with this one. She has a powerful voice. I listened to her first song. I was like, okay, this is the vocalist. This is the singer-songwriter I want on my song. I was listening to a bunch of artists and trying to figure out who I should feature for this song, whose voice is gonna sit best for this track. And as soon as I listened to her song Tidal Waves, I was like, this vocal works for this song. And although dance and like EDM music was not one of the songs like she had online for me to kind of see, she was more like pop and kind of like slower tempo songs. But as I saw the potential in the the dance vocal and the type of energy that she can bring to the song.
Thank you. I'm probably red as heck right now. Am I?
No.
Okay, I can feel myself blushing. For me, I wanted to work with Bobby because I also heard from a friend his work ethic. And that's really important to me. Somebody who is kind is really important to me. And if I meet somebody through a friend, I trust them right away, to be honest. Especially if they're ingrained in the industry. But then on top of that, the clash chords and the different dynamics that you make within your instrumentation is really cool. And it's not just like basic EDM. Like there's something so much more to it. The fact that you would work with artists who aren't EDM singers or just have one lyric on repeat. It's cool. But you add like so many more facets to what EDM could be. So I think you bring a futuristic vibe to your EDM.
See, I'm blushing too now. So.
Yeah.
It's both ways.
Yeah.
Me, I would say the energy and just the experience. Having the experience of playing in Europe, playing in Spain, and then also being brought up in the North American culture and the music, and just experiencing that and how like pop it is versus like, let's say when you go to Ibiza, you don't hear so much the Drakes or the Beyoncés. You would hear more like technos and like deep house and things like that, where in like Toronto, like you don't hear that usually. So kind of putting the two together and bringing some of the European influences to North America and kind of providing that new product, that new sound for Canadians and the rest of the world.
I can write music within 5 minutes. If someone gives me an instrumental, I feel like it's very easy for me to write music and to connect and to also listen to different artists. So I've worked with other artists who are like, I want you to give me this kind of vibe. I worked with a rapper, and that song is not out because he decided not to continue his rap career, R.I.P., because he was really good. But then I wrote his rap for him, which is also interesting. But it was so much fun. Like, I've never written lyrics like that before, but then when he described what he was going for and who he is, and also I got to like sit and listen to who he was, it made it so much easier for me to like write what he needed to say. Plus, that's what I want to do in my music anyways, give people voices that don't feel like they have voices. So even in that experience, I wanted to give him a voice. Yeah.
Cool. All right. I mean, we already covered slightly at the beginning, but what inspired the song, and what's the message?
So when I was making the song, before contacting Raechell, I just wanted a good dance track that it would have enough space for her to kind of help me put a meaning to it. But once the meaning was there, the track had enough energy and it was good enough that whatever the message was going to be, it would still be something that you can dance to. And then, so with her help, this is the track we have so far.
Yeah, I was going through my own journey, and then I was about to write a song with you, and then I'm like, let's put this together. And the equality of intimacy versus one person being pleased and that's the main focus, or the other person being pleased and that's the main focus. It's a two-way street if there's two people, it's a three-way street if there's three people, etc., etc. So.
Sure. So my all-time mood is be happy and make other people happy. If you can dance by yourself, good. But if you can make other people dance, then you won. And when it comes to music, and live performances, that's always my energy, and that's the energy I'm trying to give to other people as well.
I love that, honestly. For me, I want to write music that's honest and empowering. So that's what I was going for, as simply put as I could be. We aren't written in the stars because not every woman or man, or however people identify as, have to connect with that person on a relationship status. And also it's artistic. We aren't written in the stars because there's a lot of cliche phrases, we're written in the stars. Like, look at the stars, look at us now in the stars, we're promised in the stars, to the moon and back, like all these different types of phrases. So I wanted to write and flip a cliche to make it like so honest and also truthful, which is the same word, but a different synonym.
True. I mean, not everything is, I guess, written in stone as well. Like, you can always, adjust your path if, something's not working out for you. It's never too late to change.
Exactly.
Adjust the path or try something different or just be open to new experiences. If I only wanted to, collaborate with people I only knew and I was close with, my circle would be so small, and like the opportunities, I would be limiting myself. But with collaborating with different people, reaching out to different people, supporting different people, that just you're spreading positive energy and you're just bringing everyone up with yourself.